And welcome back to our fair town. And this Let's Play of Animal Crossing for the GameCube. Last time, we, went to a raffle. Off screen, I actually got an 8th stamp for our exercise card, and I got a letter that Prince moved out. Now, luckily, Prince wasn't exactly the best character, so, not too big of a deal. Would have preferred him to a lot of people moving. Not really big on the frog villagers. The only one I actually like is Cousteau because he was literally in my first town. So it's nostalgia. For some reason when I was mailing letters also earlier, I forgot to mail this one. So might as well do that. And also might as well pay off debt while we're here. I tend to go in increments of 25,000. That's just an issue of personal preference. It's easier for me to remember increments in 25,000s in quarters, essentially, compared to things like just randomly paying off however much debt. It's easier for me to remember how much is remaining if it's like a pretty flat number. And I just dug up bells. I don't think I mentioned it at the time, but Katrina's bell status, I guess, also affects how many bells you can dig up with a shovel, a gold shovel. So I think you dig up like 1,000 instead of 100. So that's the optimal to get Katrina's bell influencer. Sadly, yeah, we just got one where everyone avoids us, so that kind of sucked. Not the preferred outcome. So I really didn't have much planned, but I thought one fun topic would actually be Animal Crossing stuff outside of the actual games. So first of all, the first American appearance of Animal Crossing was not actually this game. It was actually Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Melee has a trophy of Tom Nook and also KK. Which you can actually unlock. Actually, I'm just gonna sell the fish individually just to prove a point. So yeah, 6,500 bells is nothing to sneeze at, and if you catch a whole ton of them because they're not super rare, that can boost your bell count pretty fast. So that'd be my advice for getting bells. Also, going out early in the morning or late at night, and also catching beetles on trees is also a very effective way. I'm not going to sell this because I don't think this is in the museum yet, but I just want to show how much it's worth. Yeah, so that's not as good, but still 1,000 a beetle is actually pretty good. Beetles are typically less hard to find because you find them all over the place, all across your town, on different trees. So that is actually a very viable way to pay off debt. Also, the stationery in my inventory right now, which was partly used to mail letters to the museum, was given to me by Dotty for getting her item back. I don't remember what item it was though, to be fair. What item was it? But yeah, I got her thing back and now she's happy, so she gave me paper, which is not a very good reward if you ask me. Still nothing. Okay, so that's 2 days in a row where there have been no goings on. So that's not too unusual. Sometimes you do get a drought. Like, we got Wendell like 3 times in a row. Like, all in close proximity, so that was really bizarre, actually. So Porsha, I guess we should talk to Porsha. Yeah, different dialogue, I think, also depends on... What? What are you talking about? Oh, this is that. Oh wow, it's always good when you insult somebody that you want their item. You want to have them give them some... What am I trying to say? She basically... Yeah, she basically acts like a complete snob, even when trying to get something out of you, which is why I don't like the snooty villagers in this particular game, even over the other games, because even the other games are generally nicer. They're just especially like snarky in this game, and it just feels a little bit out of place. Same with the grumpy villagers, they're like too grumpy. I do admit a lot of the dialogue is actually really good. I do feel like some of it crosses the line where it's not like funny, and it's just like, wow, did they actually go there? Let's see if Cleo's any nicer to us. Actually kind of. Morning exercises will be cancelled. I actually want it to rain because I want to go over something that only happens on rainy days. I guess you could say I'm saving something for a rainy day, pun intended. But it's actually a very rare thing, so I'm not sure how much luck we're gonna actually get in terms of showing it in its entirety. Oh yeah. So down with locusts right now. Have you seen the way those things move? Especially the migratory locusts, they can fly. I mean that literally, no joke. Okay, that's good to know. My mind is a complete blank. Maybe that's why you, can't actually ever think of any items for us to do. Cause I don't know if Axel's ever given us a chore, it's always the others. But he's just always actually, the whole point of those characters is they're supposed to be kind of weird and not entirely smart. Because they're sort of athletic, which is kind of a stereotype. And then you have, like, yeah, basically all the characters fall into stereotypes. Which is kind of odd. Is the cube inside of his house? Nope, he is not in. We haven't really shown insides of houses very much just because no one's in their houses. Though this actually is the only game where you can actually go inside someone's house when they're not even in. As long as they're within the same square as their house, you can actually go inside their house. Yeah, I remember your name by now. It's been a long time. Wow, that pill bug is really boogieing in the background. Typically also, I have never actually pointed this out, but typically asking twice in a row won't get a different result. You just have to come back later. Weather forecast said it was supposed to rain today. They promised. I guess weather forecasts just aren't reliable. That's not true. Right, I shouldn't be too harsh. It was probably just a fluke. Even weather forecasters have bad days. That's why you should never start your day without checking your horoscope on TV. Okay. Also, what I said about Axel, now that I think about it, was actually really harsh. He's not very... Basically, that he's not very intelligent. But then, yeah, it is interesting that different characters are portrayed as being smarter than others, typically the normal villagers. And, yeah, the normal villagers are typically portrayed as smarter than, like, the peppy villagers and the athletic villagers, and also the lazy villagers. And the other, like, the cranky villagers and the snooty villagers just are kind of, like... They're not particularly intelligent one way or the other, but they tend to just be kind of crabby. Like Lobo, for example. Like, you don't really get a gauge of, like, how intelligent he is based on his dialogue. And in some games it's more pronounced than others, I think. But yeah, it's a lot of stereotyping, basically. And we actually have a new villager, I forgot to point that out a little bit sooner, but T-Bone to replace Prince. Which, I don't know if that's really a fair trade. Moocher. I don't know what villager type he is, actually. Ornan again, so he's lazy too, so he's basically replacing Prince exactly. That's cool, I guess. That tree can't grow because it's right next to his house. Thanks. Thanks a lot. I think it will still count though for Perfect Town. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, Dotty is, I think, our only perky villager, actually. Peppy, I mean. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think she is. Because Porsha and Cleo are both snooty. Daisy and Puddles are normal. Puddles might be peppy. I haven't really been paying attention. Ava and Daisy are normal. Lobo and Butch are cranky, punchy, and Cube and T-Bone are lazy, and Axel, I think, and also Tad and Cody are athletic. So while that doesn't necessarily mean anything in the long run, it does actually mean that we have a pretty imbalanced town, which I don't think happens quite as much. In later games, you can actually only have 10 villagers, not 15. Thus, you tend to have more of an even split between the 5 categories, or at least from what I can tell. So then I say, if you have to get up that early, then just go to bed early. Is that so hard? You ask me getting up to work out at 6 is a piece of cake. Wow. Calling them out. I can't think of anything. If anything pops up, I'll be sure to let you know. Well, it looks like we had nothing to really do today. Except just kind of... I have hiccups, by the way, that's why I keep pausing. Well, just like hanging out around town, which is kind of nice once in a while, just chatting with everybody. Roasted a few villagers. And other than that, we didn't accomplish a whole lot, so I guess we might as well end it off here. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Animal Crossing.